Okay, so I think I have to do this here. All right, so we will just go with that. I will just go with that setup here tonight because it don't look like the other setup that I'm trying will work out tonight. So I want to talk about this um, ban. I wish I had more media setup, meaning a couple clips from Spice, what she spoke about, her response to the her tour being banned. I wish I had set up some more media, but anyway, I just wanna maybe wing it to a certain point. But as you know, the Jamaican community and others would know that dancehall artist Spice started a school tour. I guess the school tour also was pre-planned, planned before, and it so happens that she did one. I think she did one tour, and then she found out that her tour was cancelled. She found out that her tour was cancelled, and she had a. It seems like she had a lot of school book for her tour, so this was a surprise to her. Now, I'm going to admit that I do not know any of her songs, so I am just going on what is on the YouTube streets and seeing her around in the sense of watching videos you see her around. But I don't know if her songs, but I've heard that her songs are very, you know, what you'd say now, out there, worldly, and everything that goes with dancehall and the rawness of it. So I can just imagine. So I'm gonna be careful here. So what I've heard is that there is a prophet who came out and spoke. He has a radio program, and he spoke about his disagreement with the tour that was going to happen or started. And some other schools now start to really think about the implication of her coming to the school and said, you know what, let's draw a break on this. We don't think it is a wise thing for her to continue to do her tour because, it would be a bad thing. I've also heard that she had already donated 1 million Jamaican dollars already to a school. And seeing as how she was going to multiple school, I don't think that she had donated to, or was going to donate to all of the schools, but she had donated to one. All right. So let's look at this. Now, you know, some years ago, I have heard that P.J. Patterson had started something called Values and Attitude. And in reflecting on in and growing up in Jamaica and going to school, you know, you had certain, well, we had manners. I mean, I grew up, I went to Edith Dalton James in Duane Park, and I grew up a certain way. But we PJ Patterson had values and attitude. I don't know how far or how long that program lasts for, But I've heard where PJ Patterson had values and attitude, and in reflecting on the idea of values and attitude, now grown, I'm always thinking that that's such a good thing, that it should continue. That there's something that like that should be in our schools, right? Now, so I know that there was a call for it back, and I think that is a good thing if it could come back on the scene, um, in another way, because I think it is important. When you're doing things like um, teaching kids manners, values, and attitude, one of the things is like you're not going to see the fruit of what you're doing immediately, and those things takes a long time. And it's not just about the talk; it's also about the walk. And I think that is why the prophet, I don't believe in much profit. So anyway, the prophet, or the person who had the radio program, said that he doesn't think that spice is the right vehicle for, or the messenger to bring that message of values. Basically, that's what she's value saying that she's doing, right? She has a song called No. I hear no. Say no. It is a good thing that she wants to do. All right. It's a noble thing, it's a good thing, and that's supposed to be commended. Well, the problem is that, as I said before just now, that it's not only about the message, and it's about the messenger too. All right. So this is the situation, right? Now, I heard um, Spice, just a short snippet, said on a radio program that she was referring to the Apostle Paul. And it seems like she's from Jamaica. So she's going to have some religious upbringing to a certain degree. And Spice said, hold on just a minute. Spice said, you know what? What about Paul, who was Saul? And she was saying, what about Saul, who became Paul? Did not the prophet read about in Acts and in Corinthians? So she know the books of the Bible, right? And so she seems like she's aware. Well, the difference with her and Paul is that Paul break away from his old life by the grace of God, right? Paul break away from his old life by the grace of God, and he speak against his old life by the grace of God. And this is not, it seems to me, this is not where she is. She's not coming and say, you know what, I've had a revelation. I've come to my senses. I'm now fully like Lady Saw or Papa San. I've come to the point where now I am going to receive Christ in my life, and I am going to turn away from the things that I was doing. This is not the case. If that was the case, then I think that she would get a better hearing, because she's not saying she's denouncing, and she's not going to allow, like Papa San clearly cut away, and Lady Saw to a greater degree now, to fully cut away from their past, in that they have taken another road. She's not saying that. She's it, and I stand corrected. She's just saying that she wants to do this. And you know what? It is a good thing that she desires to do. But I also understand what what the Christian community, which I'm a part of, is saying. Because we live in a world where, everything is on the kids' fingertips. And if I had a children in a school that she was, I wouldn't want her to be telling, even though she's saying something good, because what's going to happen is that the children who don't even aren't even fully aware of her. If I don't know if if every children listen to her song, but those who aren't even aware of her, after she comes and talks so nice about don't do this and walk the straight and narrow, and I saw a clip and her speech sounds good. I am saying her speech sounds good. And she was saying that, guys, don't, have sex until you have a certain age or whatever, because, those temporary pleasure cause lasting pain. That's a good message. That's, to value yourself and stuff. Nothing is wrong with the message. And the people are saying it's the messenger. Because what happened is that the messenger is not saying that she's denouncing stop singing and she's going to stop producing the songs that she's producing. She's not saying that. And I think that, that further is a problem in our culture. That is a further problem in our culture. We have people who they um they are religious in the sense that they know what the religion says, but they don't practice the religion, and they kind of have a double life, and so they do not have the character that allows people to it's like they're empty, because they're not saying one thing. So you're saying that I'm going to come and speak to you about values and attitude for 30 minutes. But then I'm going to also go back to the club. I'm going to sing these songs that speak against what I am talking about. Your catalog. What are you saying? Are you saying that I'm going to put off those things? I'm going to discourage people from singing my own songs that I make, because that's double-minded. That is where the problem is, and I would hope that she'd understand that, because she's trying to make the case that Saul became Paul. Yes, Saul became Paul. He became Paul, and he stopped being Saul. All right, Saul was not encouraging people or saying something. He clearly cut away from the life that he was living, because he was born again and he received Jesus Christ. And because he received Jesus Christ, he was preaching righteousness 100%. You can't have it both ways, basically. That's what it is saying. Now, I would hope that if Lady Saw decided to come into the schools and make a tour, Lady Saw, I think that's a good idea, by the way. If Lady Saw would do that, and could show even what she used to do, because she now have the credibility. What is it, 2 3 years? No, she got converted. And I'm not saying that people can fall and people are perfect afterwards, but I'm saying she has made a confession, and she has committed her life to the Lord, and she has her little thing where she going, and she that is a greater testimony, a far greater. That is a testimony. That is now when Spice say Saul became Paul. Lady Saul becomes what is her what is her name? I forget Lady Saul real name, but yeah, please type it in the comment section. So Lady Saul, I'm still trying to remember her real name. So Lady Saw now is Sister Minister All. Yeah, I got you. Minister All now is no more Lady Saw. Lady Saw has a greater credibility. Lady Saw now, the schools, I don't believe, would stop Lady Saw from going and talking about values and attitudes. So I do believe that it is needed. It is so needed. Yeah, Papa San. Yeah, Papa San, make a tour for Papa San, and if the government and so can work with those artists who have I've renounced certain things, and I've said that no, listen, we're not going to sing certain songs. These are the qualified artists, you know, by God's grace, that is now the are in the right position. It's not that anybody better than anybody. It is just by the grace of God that some people say, you know what, I'm stop doing. I'm not going to leave nothing behind for kids to say, you know what, because that is not a great testimony for the kids, that you come and you give a nice speech for 30, 40 minutes and everybody feel good, and then they go on YouTube and presently, or the year you go to a dancehall thing and you're still the same way. It and all this pasa pasa and this and that does not help. That is what I am saying. So I believe that you have multiple people who and I also believe that values and attitude, it is needed. The influencers, I mean, the influencers that are upstanding ought to, ought to um, offer themselves to go into the schools and have these sessions with the kids. And I believe that, I don't believe it's a quick fix, but I think that it will help. Right? But I don't think at this point Spice is the right messenger to bring that message. For the reason that I just stated, she has not cut off from her past. She's just and also she must be commended for wanting to do this. I do not take away her sincerity. I believe that she's sincere. I believe that she wants to save youth from the hurt and the pain that she went through. Yeah, so it's a Spice, if you happen to watch this video way in the corner of YouTube, I am just letting you know that I understand, your desire, in the sense that, you know what, you see the things and the pain and the hurt, the heartbreak and the pain that you went through, with all your struggles, with all the disappointment, with everything that has happened to you. And that must be commended that you want to do that. But I am still saying that you are not the right person to do it at this time. Let me say at this time too, because there may come a time when you are finally cut away from your past. But I don't believe anyone should get the privilege of going and talking to the kids if they have not cut away from their past. Not to say that they are going to live a perfect life afterwards. But as I said, as I give you the example, Spice, I heard her for like two, like it was split like a minute. I heard her commented that Saul became Paul. And she was, saying basically to the prophet who said that, you know what, he don't believe that she's the right messenger. And yeah, I must give it to him. He's right in that. She was saying Saul became Paul, but my point is that yes, he became Paul. He put those things that are behind, he left those things, and he's living now a different life, the Paul that is. And so I am saying that the persons that are qualified by grace to go into the schools and not only have a message, but have the character to follow the message. Not that their past is clean and perfect, but that they have made a cut from the things that they have done. It's like Papa San, Lady Saw, and all of those, Colin Davis. You have so much that was walking a certain way, and they decided that, and even then, I am not even saying the persons that should go into the school must be believers or Christians, but they must be outstanding, conscious, as I talk about it, PJ Patterson values and attitude. I think that's basic and that's good for them to avail themselves. And so I think those are the person that the government should look at to do that. No, I say that, Spice, do have an opportunity to do that in the future if she put off those things. She you cannot just say that I'm going to give a good message for 15 to 30 minutes and then after that I'm back to doing what I was doing. And the kids now who who have tablets and phones is just what they're going to do. They're just going to go online and see you doing being contradictory, because they're going to see you doing those songs. They're going to read your lyrics, and it is not the proper, you're you know just not the proper vehicle at the time. So the example that you gave with um, Saul becoming Paul does not apply to you in that sense, because Saul became Paul. He put away those things that he used to do, and he was following Christ wholeheartedly. And so a person like Lady Saul, which is now Minister All, Minister All would be the right, perfect candidate to spearhead. And she's in her church, and she has few members, and she made a sacrifice. And I think that it would be really, really good for her ministry and for her. I think I saw a clip where the Fitz is his name, senator, he was talking to the minister, and he was saying to the minister that they have to look into to that. Um, if they could maybe get entertainers to go. And I would say I would recommend that they choose, if they can get a coalition, get a team together, a committee, a group of former artists or artists who and I'm saying I don't believe that they must be believers, but I am just saying artists who can work together, artists who are conscious. If they can get Papa San, um, Lady Saw, Stitchy is still in a situation there. But there are many artists, Carlin Davis and her husband. There are many artists, there are many people who once were in the dancehall and now have come out. And I just believe that um, that would make a greater lasting impact. Because you know you cannot be telling kids one thing and then your life is another way, because that is not going to help them in the longer run. That is my point. It actually does harm than good, because imagine now Spice go in, go in the schools, and she made a tour, make some speech, you know and then all of the kids know about her, so they start to follow her other lifestyle. I mean, what example is this? It's actually doing more harm, or would do more harm than good. And I hope you hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that you must be commended, Spice, that is, for desiring and wanting. And I sense that it is coming from a place where this is something that you want to do. And one of the reasons why you want to do it is because you yourself was hurt, and you want to save other kids from being hurt. And nothing is wrong with that. That is to be commendable, commended. And I think it's possible for you to help a lot of kids, even if you don't change your lyrics and stuff like that. But I am saying I do not believe that it is a good look, but it's not only about the look. It's not a good thing to for you to be in that position. You are not the right person. And I would hope that you would think about this honestly too for yourself, and just think about the implication of what I am saying. look into yourself. I know it may be a hard pill to swallow. I don't think you should try and fight it. That you know what, I no. If you are not willing to say, if you have not reached the place, and nobody not, I'm not pushing you. If you don't reach the place where you say, you know what, I'm sorry that I sing those songs. I feel disgusted about these lyrics. And here I'm saying I am just talking based on what I hear about the lyrics that you sing in the past. If you're not willing to denounce and reject those things, and you're saying that you're going into schools to make a 30, 40, 50-minute speech and come back out of the schools with the same kind of pattern, you must understand that though you're trying to be helpful, in the end, it is not helpful. I hope you get what I'm saying. So if you're not ready, I think you should just chill in the sense of encourage those who you know who are willing to cut from these things. Lady Saw made a sacrifice. I mean, she made the sacrifice. I know she had to give up money and she had to give up a lot of stuff, but she made a sacrifice. So I believe based on that, she should be the one who they send and to give a message of, children or youth supposed to take pride in who they are and keep their body and have good attitude and respect and manners and stuff like this. So anyway, that is just my thought. I thought I would just make a comment on that kind of reasoning. Again, I hear that the government, I saw Senator Fitz Henley made a comment in the parliament, and I saw a snippet of Spice argument, and I thought I would just throw in my little piece. But that is what I think. Um, Again, I think that Spice's heart is at the right place in this sense that I believe that this must have been her idea, something that she wants to do because of the things that she have been through, and um, you know maybe in the future this will be something that she can do fully without having this baggage. All right, and knowing the church should embrace her at that point, you know, after a season. But until she's willing to give up her past and reject those things as you get older, you know, as you get older, Spice, and you realize and you start to really meditate and look and seeing as though you have some idea of the Bible and stuff like that. And the Lord and the Holy Spirit start to really impress upon you, and you start to look in your heart and look in your mind. Some of the foolish things that you have done, and don't say I'm saying judging you. I am just saying the foolish things you have done based on the lyrics and stuff like that. But I'm saying it also from a personal level in the sense that growing older, you realize that a lot of us, when we're in our younger age, we did foolish stuff. But until you can reject that and see it for what it is and turn in a different direction, I don't think you should, um, you know, feel any way in people saying, in church leaders saying, no, no, you're not the right. Don't take it too hard. I hope you can sit through it, even though it kind of hurt. Because if you really want to help the kids, you must understand what, you should understand what they're trying to say. Now, let me say this, and I said I was going to go, but let me say this. I am sure, I am certain that some people are going to come out and say, "Oh, who that attack?" And them, people go on like them righteous and holy. Leave Spice alone. Make sure go on and talk to the kids, and stuff like that. But and because that is a kind of culture that we have. You have people who go to church on Sunday or Saturday, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They live a different kind of life. So that double-mindedness, that double kind of thinking is in our culture. You know, um, we think that our relationship with God it can be like that, and we want to put that kind of thinking on everybody else. And I'm just saying that that does a lot of damage. You know, when children grow up, they do not grow up with that kind of with a pure character, because they have seen so much hypocrisy and double-mindedness that they themselves start to practice the same thing, right? So I'm saying that because of that, you are not the right person for that. But a person like uh Lady Saw, Sister Marian All, and other people like that. And I'm not saying that going down the line they may not fail and falter, but I'm saying at this point they are the one qualified. They are the one qualified by grace to go and speak to the kids, because they have cut off from the past. If you're not willing to cut off from the past, and you're saying that I'm just going in, and I'm just repeating myself, going in for a little time to have this school tour, but then next month you see me, I am what I just spoke about in the school tour is you're seeing me do going up against everything I just said. You are actually would be damaging the kids' psyche or their idea of what is proper and what is right. They take it for a joke, and they would not be, it's not a good representation, it's not a good picture. They must see that um, um, someone with a let's say a more steady character, right? So that is my few thoughts on that, and I'm going to go. God bless you. This is Liberating Truth. Now, please subscribe. I am pastor also, and also a fine artist, but I also look through the lens of what is going on around the world through the eyes or through the lens of Scripture. If you have not received the Lord Jesus Christ, if you have not acknowledged Him as Lord and as Savior, I pray that you do today. God bless you, and see you around.